Tonight on NXT, we're talking about a singles debut, a new #1 contender, and a murder. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. I am one of your hosts, the internet's Mark Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. We're listening to the sultry sounds of Daria Berenato, who made her singles debut tonight. She will always be a member of the AfterBuzz TV family.
This is where she started. If it wasn't for this, she wouldn't be where she is now. That's a fact.
That's a fact. Joining me is the rest of the NXT team, starting with the nothing rhymes with hobo to make like an elf on a shelf joke. So the hobo.
That was not Dr. Seussian at all.
No.
It was really weak.
It's more like Ibsen.
The gnome without a home.
The gnome without a home.
The hobo.
Thank you. That's way better.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Where are you? You should be hosting this. You're not host by default.
I sometimes do.
There can only be one.
You know, it's weird. We're throwing each other off because we're
Mark.
saying that we're wearing the same shirt. Which you
Which
can get on NXT.com. You can find him at True Hobo. You can also find the one and the only Bill Hanstock.
That's me.
Various places, such as where, Bill? Tell the people where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Sundown Motel.
That's a good one.
It's my online brand that I've been cultivating carefully for the past several years.
Motel.
Sundown Motel.
You're waiting for it to become available for sale?
No, I own it.
Oh, no, I mean just the actual Sundown Motel.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
very
own
good.
it.
Very good.
Where is it located?
I'm not telling you. You're gonna sleep in the alley behind it. We have
And?
standards. We have standards.
What if
I like how you
wanna-
wouldn't even offer him a room. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
right.
you sleep in the alley
I'm not-
like the rest of your kind.
I'm not just gonna like automatically like give you something that's gonna sell out your whole aesthetic and lifestyle.
Just because I'm living in an apartment or living in a hole in the wall, such as the Sundown Motel,
Freudian
doesn't mean
shit.
that I'm not like a hobo.
Well, since we... We'll talk more about this near the end of the show.
Okay, so you're saying that Royal Tenenbaum was a hobo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll talk more about this at the end of the show. Right now, since we do still have the big fight atmosphere going, why don't we talk about our first contest of the night? Which is Billie Kay versus Daria Berenato.
with Peyton Royce.
Excuse me, Billie Kay with Peyton Royce
I can't
versus
look at
Daria
my paper
Berenato.
with these flashing lights. It's making my brain hurt.
Yeah, it's starting to get there.
Hey, sorry guys, there's 2 more minutes of the song
Yeah, no,
left.
it's fine. It's fine. Okay, Hobo's gonna have a seizure at some point, but it's gonna be okay.
We're gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just
Entertainment!
I'll put a wallet under his tongue and we'll be fine.
No, but he'll take it.
Hey,
He'll take the money out.
It's gonna be my
I'm
wallet.
feeling,
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling
Any wallet.
shaky. Please give me your wallet.
Oh no.
Put your
All right.
wallet in my mouth.
Our first match of the night, Billie Kay with Peyton Royce versus Daria Berenato. Oh, thank God.
I was really hoping he was gonna do it.
It was starting. Once you like made note of it,
Right.
that's when it started. Damn it!
Started it over.
That's when it started getting to me. My favorite thing about this match was how much fun Daria was having just beating the ever-living crap out of Billie Kay.
And also how much fun Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were having of being terrified of Daria Berenato.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Everybody
Like,
had a job.
When she made her entrance, Peyton like had her arms around Billie, like she was like, "Oh no, we've made a horrible mistake." It was so good.
What have we done?
What did we sign up for, Billie?
What was your favorite part of the match overall?
It's Daria actually looking pretty fierce in there. Like it's one thing to say I'm gonna beat somebody up, and it's another thing to actually deliver on that promise and go in and start like throwing really heavy things. Like there was a clothesline in there that
There were
just
a couple.
shot Billie way down. Just it was all of her weight into it, and it's that sort of thing that you need to actually back up the idea of I'm an ass-kicking machine. You can't just say it; you gotta actually bring it. And then when the gloves came off,
Literally,
it worked. It was something that worked to separate Daria from the rest of the pack, because a lot of girls don't throw closed hands. They're not really allowed to. Let's just put it that way. So when she started throwing closed hands, no covering, it actually meant more. It actually had more impact, both physically and metaphorically.
You also saw her full reach too.
Yeah.
Like she's got long arms.
She does.
So when she got Billy in the corner and after the gloves came off, she was just knocking her pretty hard in the stomach, in the
those
chest.
body shots, those made a lot of contact, and everybody who doesn't understand fighting goes, yeah, how much can a body shot hurt?
That's what killed Brock Lesnar.
Absolutely. And I like there's a video out there of somebody who didn't quite understand it. Somebody put on the gloves and just got him right in the gut. Guy went down and did not get back up. It's worse than a knockout because a knockout.
Yeah, unless you get knocked unconscious.
No.
You don't have to deal with it.
A knockout's one of those things of if you hit somebody in the right place with the right amount of force, you can go lights out. But a body shot works almost 100% of the time, and that'll just take you down. It's not even like you're still conscious, you're still with it, but your body does not function. It just won't because there's no air. You're done.
And as we all know from William Regal, he said you do need to breathe in order to wrestle. So it's a very important thing. I just want to remind everybody that is something that
Except for the Undertaker,
fair
Because he's dead.
the dead man.
He is
Yeah.
a dead man.
He's a dead man.
Now, despite all
Means a
the
lot for a dead man, though.
Despite all of the fun and mayhem that Daria Berenato was having at the expense of Billie Kay, she unfortunately could not pick up the victory due to the one Peyton Rice. Who was
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans ensued. They were trying to run away. Daria throws Billie back into the ring. Peyton gets a hold of her, runs her into the apron, throws her back in. Billie hits the big boot, gets the win.
Daria was doing her best Terminator impression, going after everybody, but it's a simple numbers game. At the end of the day, you're one person against two people, and given the right circumstances, it can play havoc, and you can lose just that easily.
When do you think we will see these two either separate or kept from each other or in a cage above the ring? Because that seems to be a real popular thing to do.
Cage.
Shark cage.
Yeah.
We got to sell them toys.
Do it.
So when do you think we'll finally be able to see these two fight for their own merit?
You talking about Billie and Peyton?
Billie and Peyton, because
Finally not have any shenanigans, a lack of shenaniganry.
I feel like
Shenaniganry.
they'll target Asuka, and Asuka will fight one of them first and beat her so severely that she won't be able to accompany the other one to the ring.
that's fun.
That works, yeah. That's smart.
Or-
What if they fuse into one person though?
Yeah.
They can do
Fusion dance.
Yeah, look just like Kathy. But I wonder if we would be able to see maybe Daria and Asuka take on both of the Aussies.
Or
and
Daria
just
and
annihilate
Ember
them.
Moon.
Or Daria and Ember Moon before they get to Asuka.
That could work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't have too many. The only people that they have is each other. They don't have a lot of friends down there in NXT, and sometimes you could use a couple.
There's not that many females right now.
There's a ton of them.
At least on TV.
And on television.
There's a ton of them. I mean, normally they're getting Deonna Purrazzo to death, but...
Oh, no. There was a death tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We need like an in memoriam, like...
In the arms of
Yeah, there it is.
But before they leave the ring, they challenge Asuka to meet them anytime, any place, and they'll take them on. How they'll split up the championship, I have no idea. They'll probably be like a Lake Hole situation where like the belt is in half. Why not?
It's like a free bird situation.
There's
There's only
not
two of
three of them.
Well, right, but it's one belt, so each of them defends the belt.
Like how Luke Harper is the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
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 Because
Basically.
Randy and Bray just handed it to him, and he went, "It is me now."
I have the power.
Let us know what you want to see between the Aussies and either Daria or Asuka in the comments down below. Moving on to the murder. Let's talk about the Authors of Pain versus Anthony Bowens and John Ortigan. This was a literal slaughtering.
Just disgusting.
The Authors of Pain grossly beat the living hell, definitely out of Anthony
Just
Bowens, and a
unfairly.
little bit out of John Ortigan.
Like, this is one of those times when you look at professional wrestling and go, oh yeah, there's a reason we should have weight classes. These guys were nowhere near the weight or power of the Authors of Pain. As a result, Tony got dropped on his head about 3 times, the last of which was it. Like, his butt is on the shelf indefinitely. For realsies, y'all.
Yeah.
For realsies.
They beat them up so much more badly than they beat up the Bollywood boys, who are like half of the size of these dudes.
It was. This is a match where you don't need to show. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Because
you
you
learn to fall off a 15-foot ladder.
How do you learn how to get dropped on your head? You don't.
Yeah, this was definitely a referees, trainers, EMTs down situation.
Yeah. And the match just ended. I mean, it was
Stop!
about to
Stop!
Well, John got powerbombed onto Anthony's head.
Yeah. After giving a great, I'm not afraid of you, bro.
I'm not afraid of you.
It was the other way around, I believe.
No, because Anthony
Oregon landed on top of Tony.
and rolled away, and then
Yeah.
they picked up because Bowens was the legal man the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when they brought him up for the final chapter or the
Whatever the
epilogue,
hell they call it.
the ref,
The postscript.
the postscript.
Ref got right in the way.
It's like no, okay, we're stopped.
No.
You stop right now! And then they let
What
him go,
are you
and then they let
doing?
him go, and he's just like face first, just. I'm not conscious.
Yeah, and he was done.
He was-
done. They called the match.
He was
that was
acting
it.
really weird when he was laying
Yeah.
on the ground.
No, he got
Like,
starched, dude.
mechanical.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh my
He
God.
got like when you see a guy get knocked out in MMA, and he's like.
Like everything just tenses
Yeah.
up, and then you just fall in
Yeah.
a puddle
Have
of
you
your own
guys
stuff.
ever seen that Ultimate Fighter clip from when Riddle was on the show and he knocked that guy out, and then the guy's just on the ground going.
Yes, I've seen that. I didn't know that was Riddle's.
It was Riddle. Riddle did that to that guy.
Oh my God. Wow.
Thank you, Bill, for giving our viewers and listeners homework. 'Cause-
You gotta check it out. I get like we're here laughing at a guy getting completely wrecked for
Well,
real,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's it's horrible. Like we really want the guy to be okay.
yes.
He's on the mend right now, but I mean he's got a concussion.
I
And those
only
things are no
hope
joke.
that WWE actually took care of this guy.
I'm sure
I would
they will.
like
Oh, sure.
to hear some follow-up about
Well, he said himself, well, that wasn't how I wanted my WWE debut to go.
You don't say.
Others of Payton clearly pick up the victory. All roads, or Ellering gets on the mic and says, all roads lead to San Antonio. It doesn't matter if the DIY or the Revival win the Tag Team Championships. The future for the Authors of Pain is the NXT Tag Team Championships. I mean, it's the same. I mean, after a performance like that, how can you not be legitimately concerned for the safety of DIY or the Revival?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
That's all there is to say. It was a big old mugging.
Somebody died. Not really.
Almost.
Almost. Oh, no, he's in the main
Could have
event.
been even worse.
Get it? It's Andrade. Never mind. In the back, Asuka responds to the Aussies. They're no competition for her, and they need to be careful. And she's
And then they get distracted.
because Nikki Bloody Cross, who is eating the truss and laughing, and is gonna walks away. And Asuka reacts as any Love-Struck champion would.
They're licking your lip.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna beat her up.
yeah.
They're gonna beat each other up so
That's
bad.
a spicy meatball.
Nikki
Scottish
Cross
meatball?
is like a hyena.
Scotch egg.
It's a Scotch
Scotch
egg.
egg. Yeah.
That is a spicy Scotch egg. Doesn't work.
Said with an Italian accent
Yeah.
for
It's
some
a spicy meatball.
Asuka's
That's
Italian,
the
right?
joke. That's I was
Asuka.
Asuka.
Asuka. Asuka, why are you not calling your mama no more? Asuka.
What are you looking at Nikki DeCross that way? All right, let's talk about
get the papers,
this
get the papers.
main event. We have a fatal four-way elimination. Number one what?
Look at the clock. Like, we're just
No,
blowing through this
we're gonna
show.
finish it, and then we're gonna talk about Christmas specials.
Exactly what we're gonna do.
Alright, alright.
So we got Andrade Cien Almas, Bobby Roode,
yeah.
Roderick Strong, and Ty Dillinger. 10.
Damn.
Nice.
You're welcome. So I like how listen to a lot of Moana. I like how they started the show. They started the match.
Started the show.
by
Let's start
everybody
the show.
beating the crap out of Bobby Roode, essentially leaving him for dead on the outside of the ring. And Cien Almas controlled the first part of this match.
You know what? You don't get to call your own shot in a fatal 4-way. You don't get to go, hey guys, y'all just go ahead. I'm gonna sit out here and just wait till you guys are down. Then I'm gonna sneak in. No, you don't get to do that. So, good old Roderick Strong and Ty Dillinger cut Bobby Roode off at the pass and decided to tune him up until Cien almost dropped in on all three of them. Then he got the upper hand. Smart. It's a smart play by Cien.
Do you think he was a little too full of himself in trying to control everybody?
Well, obviously, because when the tables turned, he ended up being on the outside for the majority. He kept trying to hop up and get involved, and every time he'd get knocked back down. It's like a tennis ball just being volleyed back. Come here, no, you're away, and away, and away. If anybody underperformed in this, I would have to say Cien did. He had
Really?
He sort of had control over the beginning of it, but.
And he was the first eliminated, but not to show a lack of effort or a lack of work. He first started showing signs of I want to say weakness, but I guess it's weakness when he missed his double moonsault, and then that was a perfect opportunity for Roderick Strong and Ty Dillinger to take some sort of an advantage of that.
Well, it was one of those things of you can't hit two opponents at the same time. It's too many things in play. So he was going for that double moonsault, and he obviously missed the first one, but he was ready for it. Tried to hit it on Strong. Strong got the knees up because he knew what was going to happen. Dillinger hits a drop kick. Out goes Cien. Then we have a nice standoff between Dillinger and Strong. We're waiting for them to mix it up. There's two, let's say, favorite baby faces in this. I mean, Strong is flexible, but Dillinger, everybody is way behind him. In comes Bobby Roode, just like a snake in the grass, and hammers both of them and gets control. It seems like really Roderick Strong was under for the majority of this match. Whether it was Almas or Roode, he ended up just sort of getting his salad tossed all night.
He got some hard-hitting offense in there, but I think it was too few and far between. Yes, we're just going over that. Cien ends up hitting the double knees on Ty Dillinger, but got a sick kick to the face and ends up getting eliminated. Then, excuse me, we got a little bit more of Ty and Roderick. Is this a matchup that you can see continuing after this Fatal 4-Way? Or any of these?
Roderick, Cien, maybe.
That could be fun.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
it's just too lukewarm to me.
It's just, it's sort of the nature of Roderick Strong right now. And Cien almost.
And Cien almost. So let's not put two flavors of the same ice cream in one.
I'll have the swirl bland and bland.
Yeah, I'd like a double dose of vanilla. Not the French vanilla, just the vanilla.
Yes.
The vanilla, dairy-free vanilla beans.
Make sure that's ice milk.
Can you just put some drops of vanilla extract in my milk, please? That'd be great. I love that flavor.
I'm going to have 2 scoops of ice milk. I'm going to have natural and plain.
Yeah. So Dillinger and Strong, I think, is a better mix. Mm-hmm. And then Cien, I don't know. He kind of just is. He's not been consistent with anything thus far. He's kind of been here and there and not sort of.
He's like a gummy bear, bouncing here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Adventures beyond compare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Precisely.
Gummy bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to sing DuckTales next?
Ooh.
There we go. Roderick gets hit with the tiebreaker to be eliminated, and then we get sort of a mini rematch between Ty and Bobby Roode.
A baby rematch.
Baby Roode.
Yeah.
I'm glorious.
The mess left in his diaper is disgusting. But what did y'all think of this re-meeting?
Fun. They work really well together.
They really do.
And of course, this is sort of the way it always had to end up, with these two, going at it as the last 2 men standing.
I think it was. I hope what this means is everybody hoping that Ty debuts in the Royal Rumble at number 10. Perfect. But
Yes.
if they want to keep him around NXT for a little while, I would love if Ty gets his shot at the NXT Championship, that it's against Bobby Roode and he takes down Bobby Roode, so that it's sort of the culmination of this long storyline. Sort of like what we had with Sami Zayn having to go through first. Why am I think TJ? I'm thinking TJ, but that's not his name. Tyson Kidd.
Yes.
Having to go through Tyson Kidd and then to Neville to finally win it from Neville, just to sort of get it taken away, and maybe not necessarily be a long reign like we've been seeing, but if as long as he wins it from Roode, I think that would be a huge feather in his cap.
It just feels like Dillinger
That's
and Roode.
almost has the huge feather in his cap.
You're right. I apologize.
It seems like Roode and Dillinger are made to fight each other. Even just the way the two of these guys finished this match was so strong, and it meant so much that it was them. That it seems like these two really could keep going. So I hope it does work out like you proposed. I hope that Roode does win it, and then Dillinger beats him for it. But even still, who knows how long that's going to take?
Exactly. I mean, who knows if just because Roode goes to TakeOver, if that means that it will go all the way to TakeOver Orlando.
Right.
Who knows? Ty hits the tiebreaker for 2. The entire room is devastated.
It felt like the end.
It felt like the end.
Really,
which
felt
is
like
why
that
it
was
worked.
Yeah.
Oh man, heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking.
And it was a close two. That was
2.9.
And Dillinger's face. I mean, they said it on commentary. It said it all. Just that moment, Dillinger is despondent.
What more is Ty gonna have to do to put him away?
What do I have to do?
Yeah. Roode hits the DDT for the win, and we have a great new number 1 contender. I'm not buying into the joke. So now we've got Roode Nakamura. Do we expect, regardless of who wins, do we expect this feud to last a while? Is that a WrestleMania main event as well?
No.
You don't think so?
Well, because they got TakeOver before. Oh, you mean that weekend?
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like a WrestleMania weekend.
Honestly, I am sort of expecting that Nakamura is going to be like on the WrestleMania card, and not on the TakeOver card. I mean, there's no reason to. I mean, he could work both, I guess.
Well, I think you could
Sammy
also.
did it, but
I don't see why they can't have
the NXT Championship match on WrestleMania.
I don't see why they can't do that, because there's a roster where, like with the tag matches this past couple of years. Well, are strong enough to where they can finish off a show. But the women's championship can finish off a show.
Right, but I think at this point, the way that NXT is being run and the way that the roster has been handled, and especially with TakeOver always selling out like immediately, they don't want to hamstring TakeOver by like putting some matches that could be on TakeOver on WrestleMania. Like, I think at this point, NXT is still its own thing, and it dilutes the brand a little bit. If you're like, oh, I'm going to take an NXT match, it doesn't matter if it's for the championship or not, and put it on WrestleMania, because TakeOver Orlando is NXT's WrestleMania. So like, why would you weaken that and risk making those fans angry? And then for the past few years, every WrestleMania weekend takeover, every SummerSlam weekend takeover, it's been a competition of like, can NXT top the main roster? And you know that no one on the NXT sure they'd like to have the WrestleMania moment, but they're going to be going out to outdo WrestleMania. They're not going to be going out to be like, we're going to have a good show too, and then some NXT people are going to be at WrestleMania.
No, right. I definitely understand that, and I agree with you with that. With the rise of the Cruiserweight division and how they completely changed the look of the show to be, purple means Cruiserweights.
Right.
Yellow means NXT.
That. Right.
You can extrapolate that maybe they want to do that for a season finale show like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But they haven't done it yet, so I don't see why they would start now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes both it doesn't do any favors for either brand, basically.
Right. NXT wants to keep themselves away, so to speak, from the main roster and what is television.
And part of the cachet for NXT right now, part of the thing that makes them cool is that they're not the main roster.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for whatever, however silly that may be, it's still a real thing. And you know that Triple H and the other people in charge of running NXT, they have that pride of, this is NXT, and this is our thing.
Right. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you. And we're looking past TakeOver San Antonio, which we shouldn't be doing.
But to your point, which we got sidetracked on, the way that basically every NXT feud has gone ever since Bo Dallas was NXT champion is the new champion wins the title, and then they do a rematch. It has happened for everyone except for when Sammy got taken off the shelf. And I think even didn't he have a title match against Owens or not?
He had
Yes.
the rematch before he got sent away.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a match that went all over the...
Before
the
he went up to
stadium.
the main roster.
Yeah.
But after he came back from injury. Okay.
Yes.
I thought he had.
He might be the only one who didn't, but
I thought he had one before they confirmed that he had an injury, and it was light, and it was the one, and it was,
no, because the title match that they had was when they stopped it and
was
awarded
the stuff for the
Owens
KO. Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
a new champion is crowned, and they do a rematch. It's just always, and it's for the tag titles, it's for the women's title. Every title in NXT works that way.
Yeah.
So if this Rude Nakamura match happens at the Royal Rumble, I expect them to have that match. I expect the rematch to happen in the next cycle of TV tapings, and I expect Nakamura to be on the main roster by the time WrestleMania rolls around, and that storyline with Rude to be wrapped up.
Okay.
That's just my expectation.
And then
if they stretch it out to WrestleMania weekend, it could very well work out that way.
So, do you think Dillinger Rude is a WrestleMania weekend main event?
Possibly. It depends on where Rude ends up after Royal Rumble, or where
Right.
Dillinger ends up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no shortage of people who could be built up to take on Rude in the short amount of time, or not short amount of time between Rumble and Mania.
Because Rude's not been a real consistent winner. He's definitely done well, but the possibility of him losing is way higher than the possibility of either Nakamura or Samoa Joe losing.
True.
So there's way more contenders because of the shortness with which Bobby Roode has actually wrestled in NXT.
That's right. Curtius Hiesiphorus says in chat, the Owens Zayn rematch was when Samoa Joe debuted. Samoa Joe came out and made the save after
Right.
Owens was just beating the crap out of
Right.
Sami Zayn. That's right. Anyway, speaking of Samoa Joe, why don't we get to some real quick news and gossip? Took some time with that.
TV news.
Speaking of Samoa Joe, there was a rumor going around that Samoa Joe may have been injured on the last leg of their most recent tour. There's been no confirmation he was working light sort of tag matches where he was barely getting in, doing a couple of moves here and there, and then tagging back out. No confirmation yet, and if they have plans for him to
He
debut at
did.
the Royal Rumble, or
At Riverside, he did say that he was not cleared to compete in a match that night.
okay,
Though he did get involved physically in a tag match that closed out the show, but he did not actually wrestle in Riverside and said that he was not cleared.
okay,
Now, whether or not that's true is really difficult to tell because normally when people say they've not been cleared, they don't get involved. He got heavily involved in the match.
Heavily involved.
Heavily involved.
okay,
Yeah.
like Muscle Buster.
Not quite that, but a lot of stuff on the outside,
Strikes.
throwing clotheslines. At one point, he took down Nakamura on the outside.
Did he take a fall? Like, did he take him all the way down to the ground?
That was far out of my vision.
Aha.
But yeah.
Joe's not that short. He's not shorter than the apron. You can see if he falls on the damn ground.
It was on the stage side, and I was the opposite. I was
Okay.
hard cam side.
Is there any truth to the reports that ho 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 he's hungry?
Not that I've heard. Hobo, have you?
No.
You were at Riverside.
I was. I mean, isn't he always hungry? Is that just part of being Samoa Joe? Aren't we always hungry?
How dare you?
I think wrestlers are just kind of always eating.
Especially if there's free food.
Yeah.
Catering.
Yo.
Absolutely.
It's like a bunch of Tasmanian devils just roll.
And some people can't get enough. They want you to feed them more. Our next story is
Was
we got
that
a new...
Bushwhackers? Is that what
That
you
was
were talking
right.
about? The
That was
No,
right.
that was
It
Bushwhackers.
That was...
Read me more.
Wow.
There's Andrew H. Reback was who I was...
Ribback.
The Reback.
the Reback.
I hear the rib is back.
I hear he's going to Broadway.
The Mick Reback.
Ooh, the McRib is back.
Get your steak, $2.99 at your local Burger King.
Steak $2.99 at your local Burger King.
Steak Taco Bell. We got a
Steak Taco Bell.
Steak Taco Bell as was just been signed to a new
Taco Bell.
exclusive contract. No, seriously, though, we
They
did
are
get
citing anybody.
we did get a new signing this past week, following the string of the lovely ladies that have been signed.
Shazza.
We got Shazza.
Shazza.
The former Rosie Love,
Yeah.
now being billed as
Andrea.
simply Andrea, was signed by the WWE.
She's great.
She is great.
Yeah, she's very talented.
Yeah, and really happy to come back from your career under those circumstances. Like, you know what, I'm done. I got one more. I got one more run in me, and then you're like, you know what, I'm good at this. I'm gonna keep doing it. Excited for her to show up.
She's got a unique look and a lot of size, despite losing however much weight she lost, like close to 100 pounds.
127 pounds.
127, yeah. Lost a lot of weight, but she's actually put on
Muscle,
even more muscle. So
She's great. She's tall and she's intimidating, and she's gonna be, a new bruiser in the women's division, and I'm really looking forward to it. Or in the women's tournament.
Either or.
maybe. Yeah.
Speaking of tournaments,
We got. Our informant was pretty accurate. Last week, one of our fans let us know that there's going to be a UK announcement, press conference at the O2 Arena.
which was the first I'd heard of it, so good job.
As did I.
I don't know.
But we found out that similar to the Cruiserweight Classic, there's going to be a UK tournament that's
UK
going to
champion tournament.
the WWE United Kingdom Championship Tournament.
I mean, they're getting rid of the belt, or
Nope.
Well, getting rid of the European Championship.
That they got rid of 12 years ago.
You know they don't have that anymore, right?
it's not a thing.
That hasn't been a thing for a while.
D'Lo!
What?
Like, not
No
since the
way.
days of Al Snow dressing up like Danny Zuko, because he was Grease.
Yeah, of course.
That was the joke. No, they haven't had the European
You're
Championship in a
thinking
while.
of Deuce and Domino.
No. Al Snow.
Super Dom.
Remember when Al Snow was dressing up as the different countries when he was the European champion? He showed up dressed like a greaser from Greece.
Yeah,
It was a really dumb
I
joke.
blocked that from my memory.
Good on ya.
That was a
I just
dumb
remember him
joke.
eating a dog.
Yeah, the pepper steak. Apologies to all of our Greek board of directors, which we do have
Oh
here.
yes, no,
But-
that's a real thing.
No, it's a real-
You gotta be careful.
It's a real thing. So taking part in the UK wrestling tournament are the following people. This list was provided to us by approx.com. You should visit them for wrestling bits.
Prox.
Approx upon your family.
Approx upon your family. We got Trent Seven, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Wolfgang, Tyson T-Bone, Tucker, Jordan Devlin, Roy Johnson, Joseph Connors, H.C. Dyer, Jack Stars, Sam Gradwell, James Drake, Dan Maloney, Chris Tyler, Saxon Huxley, Ringo Ryan, and Tiger Ali.
And Mitch Connor.
And John Canner. And many more. Not at all. That's all.
Well, that's 18. That's including
18?
the two alternates.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
And Nigel McGuinness will be doing commentary
With Michael
for
Cole.
that.
Very excited.
Two-night live event. The whole tournament.
In January.
Yeah, January 14th and 15th, I believe.
Yes, that is correct.
Yep.
And so much like they talked about how with the CWC sort of leading into 205 Live, this will sort of be laying the groundwork for a UK wrestling program from WWE. That's huge.
Yeah.
And it's the start of something that can take root in a bunch of different countries. I can see that happening in Japan at the very least, let alone maybe South America, all over the world. Similar to what Vince McMahon did with the territories in the United States, it seems like Stephanie and Triple H are going to be doing worldwide with similar territories.
Yeah,
Huge.
It does open the door.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of international stuff. Yeah.
Is that your official comment?
Like,
A lot of international stuff.
I'm thinking about some things that I can't talk about, so.
And William Regal and some others have been asked and they said that they can't reveal at this time like what's going to happen with that championship, whether it's going to be defended in just any independent promotion, whether it's going to get its own segment on Raw or SmackDown, or whether it's
Well,
gonna
like
get its own
Rev
show.
Pro, IPW, Progress.
Yeah, during the press conference, Triple H specifically name dropped Progress,
Rev Pro.
ICW,
ICW. That's what it was.
OTT, and Rev Pro, which is interesting because OTT just joined with Flow Slam.
Flow Slam, another wrestling streaming service with a lot of worldwide coverage as well.
They just added WXW.
WXW, they're doing a big show tonight. It's pretty big. The fact that they came out of the gates guns a-blazing, as one does in a horse race, and it
So,
just sort
horses
of
race.
it gets you thinking about the worldwide implications. New Japan's already kind of taking precautions, but it also explains a bit why WWE is just signing everybody.
Yeah.
Just sign them.
You gotta worry a little bit about overinflation, but they seem to have a
You seem to be
plan.
pretty worried about it.
Huh?
You seemed a little tickled in the throat about it.
I'm fine
You
about
gotta
it.
worry about
Well,
it.
it's like one of those things. If you try and overextend yourself, you're gonna break.
Well, I think that they've been laying the groundwork for partnerships of this kind because they've been
You can
working.
cut the news music.
They've been working with Evolve for a couple years now, and at this point, it's pretty obvious that they're able to have a partnership with an independent promotion that more or less has free reign to do what they want, while still working hand in hand with WWE on a lot of things.
Because Evolve is on Flow Sports too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also like book TNA talent, talent that is under contract to TNA,
Right.
and that is really weird.
It's a little
Still, but it has never hampered the Evolve WWE relationship, even to the point where Johnny Gargano and Drew Galloway, while Drew Galloway was TNA champion, were the Evolve champions,
Yeah.
while Johnny Gargano was on NXT television.
And in the same regard, it hasn't affected the Evolve program. They're still allowed to be the company that got them to the point for all that notoriety, for WWE to sign them, or to have a professional working relationship with. And all this UK biz is...
Yeah, so I think that WWE was sort of like, oh, the Evolve partnership worked out. We can develop healthy relationships in the UK or in Japan with other promotions where we can work very closely with the promotions, let them use talent that we want, or take the talent that we want from them and still give them some bones.
This whole thing with the UK is coming around so quickly because of
The ITV World of Sport
Right,
thing,
exactly. They're being threatened as number one. They want to keep their foothold, and so they're willing to take some chances in the possibility that it'll pay off exponentially, and it sort of remains to be seen. But they're taking a chance, so we'll see what happens.
And those shows sold out.
Sure.
Yeah.
And even just looking at Finn Balor making the appearances at IPW, I think he made it an OTT this past weekend as well.
ICW.
Okay, it's ICW. Oh, why do I keep saying
And
IPW?
OTT,
ICW. Insane Championship Wrestling. Yes. Just the effect that has had for his old hometown crowds.
Sure.
And the idea that just because you're signed to WWE and you've had your, quote, last show, doesn't mean you can't make appearances for these people. And I think that's great. That's a great way to build relationships with fans, to have them attend independent shows.
It's a very new way of looking at things, too.
Yeah.
Like,
And
WWE used to be like this, and now they're starting to open up a little bit, and it's very odd.
And
to
it's
see.
also specifically with UK wrestlers right now, UK wrestlers who are getting a lot of buzz because of Rev Pro, because of ICW, because of This Is Progress, and it's a generation of wrestlers who have grown up with no British wrestling on television.
Yeah.
And like as a crap, I can't remember. I'm blanking on his name. Guy who does the Chaos Theory, Jack dude, British wrestler, Doug Williams.
Yes.
Doug Williams pointed out, like, he was part of the generation, him and Robbie Brookside and other people, Spud, Jody Fleisch, like, they're part of the generation that, like, bridged that gap of, like, we were on television once, now there's, like, a complete, like, dark ages for British wrestling, and now it's coming back again through the indies, and may once again get a British, but the UK wrestlers that are coming up on these UK indies and getting a huge buzz and gaining notoriety, they're seeing the only television they've ever known, WWE programming. They're seeing Finn Balor do well. They're seeing regular sized Damo pop up. You know,
But I mean,
they're-
Sheamus and unfortunately
Becky Lynch.
Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, how everything worked out with Wade Barrett. But yeah, it's
They're
starting
seeing
to happen
everyone,
more.
You know, make a home for themselves on WWE programming. Like, why wouldn't you be tempted by these contracts as opposed to the World of Sport contracts?
And isn't Sheamus still the youngest world WWE champion?
Orton.
No, I thought he beat that.
No,
Because
he
Orton was
beat
23.
something.
I thought Sheamus was 22.
I can't remember what the thing is, but
He was the
there was
palest.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
The palest champion. Still one of my favorite
But there's-
factoids about Mattel is that they had, or the action figure company that produces for them, they had to make the lightest shade of white in order to get an accurate
They had to
Sheamus.
use the Invisible Woman clear plastic.
Yes, they did.
But there's already been, talk of there being a divisiveness among the UK wrestlers of like some UK wrestlers being like, let's build our own thing. WWE just wants to keep you away from the competition versus people who are like, no, it's WWE, it's money. I'm going to take what.
It's one of those things of neither party is particularly wrong.
No, it's all shades of gray.
Right. It's kind of those who want to go with WWE, I think, are looking at a bit bigger side. It's okay, so we get money, and if we get on television, it's worldwide exposure.
Right.
It's an increase in brand, and those who want to stay over want to make their homes better.
Right.
So it's sort of short game versus long game. The ones that go with WWE are playing a bit longer. A longer game think that in the long run they'll be able to bring more eyes when they do come back home, and unfortunately the others view them as being expatriates.
Yeah.
How dare you leave? So I don't think either of them is particularly wrong, but
Right.
it's just going to be interesting seeing how everything evolves.
Oh, no, I was totally wrong. Sheamus was 31.
Well, close enough. But another thing to watch out for as far as news goes, and especially considering we're not going to have a show next week. which
Yeah.
we'll get to
Right, there's that.
It's getting to the end of the year, which means that for a lot of wrestlers on the independent scene, their contracts are coming up. Adam Cole's contract is ending. The Young Bucks have already re-signed with both Ring of Honor and New Japan, so another year without the Young Bucks in NXT or WWE.
Keep
But
counting.
there are going to be a lot of people who have to make a decision soon. Kenny Omega's contract with New Japan is ending very soon in January after Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Elgin has left ROH.
Elgin has left
Weirdly
ROH.
enough.
That's right.
ACH has left ROH.
Did he?
Yep.
Well, I didn't realize.
He left ROH. And also a certain prince of a cat-like nature has already fulfilled his contractual obligations to Lucha Underground.
Really? Interesting. They had him on a longer thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
They did, but his
Okay.
contractual obligations
Got it.
are up.
Got it.
And when season 3 of Lucha Underground finishes airing, he is free to appear on
any
new
other
television.
another television. Okay. But that's, of course, not as the character.
No, but he...
Because
he-
that's their character.
Yeah, no, they own
That's
the character. Yeah.
Their IP.
Look
Yeah.
out for El Hijo del Prince Puma.
Hijo del Puma.
Oh, hi, guys. Did somebody say the son of Prince Puma? I just so happened to be available all of a sudden.
Lindsay Pumarado.
Hey, it's me, guys. Prince Puma. Remember me? Oh, I'm still the same guy, definitely.
I'm not from Boyle Heights. I'm from right down the street.
This is actually what people from Boyle Heights sound like.
Yep. Totally is.
So it'll be interesting to see all of the talent
I
that
promised
may...
the people we do the Lindsay Dorado voice this week. So.
It'll be interesting to see the people who may or may not show up in NXT, WWE, the UK tournament, any other tournaments that there may be next year. So before we go, we did want to make the announcement. The studio is going to be closed next week. So that means we are we're not going to be doing a NXT.
No, that's good. You get to sleep here all week.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody's here. So I won't tell anybody if you want the
It's
our
not
back.
that I sleep in the ceiling.
Free coffee and
in
free coffee and
3
popcorn all
anyway.
week. You can walk around nude.
You just got to make it.
I can do
Just be
that.
careful of wet paint. So we are not doing a show next week, but we'll be back in the new year. We'll cover, if there is a full episode, we'll cover that as well as the other one. We seem to be getting through them quicker and quicker.
Not our fault.
Yeah.
But
What happened this week? Dude died and #1 contender.
dude died. Daria.
Girl punched a
and number
girl.
contender.
Man
We got
died.
some girl
She
punching.
punched a girl and she liked it.
That's why she's in this bloody business. We should be happy that it came at that point. Excuse me. So we want to wish everybody a happy holiday for whatever you are celebrating. And after much deliberation, we decided to bring back a fan favorite shirt onto the nxteam.spreadshirt.com store. So if you want to show your appreciation of a certain online correspondent for the WWE, not
And we're
naming
talking,
names.
of course, about Creepy Greg.
Creepy Greg.
Yeah.
So we have our I'm calling it the correspondent appreciation shirt. So if you go to
Name Catherine.
nope, that you ruined it, and now it's getting taken off.
The
it's
multiplicity
not.
shirt.
The multiplicity shirt. So go to nxteam.spreadshirt.com.
Catherine of Aragon.
We just put those up today. Get yourself one.
Get one now before the lawyers call us.
Please do. Please, before the lawyers call us.
Bring it on.
NXT.spreadshirt.com.
nxteam.spreadshirt.com. That's also where you can get one of these New Day style shirts with the three of us on it.
And maybe a
And the Boxcar Club Worldwide. We all got stuff for our individual gimmicks, so help us out. Show some Christmas cheer, and we'll see you next year. Bill, until next year, where can the folks find you on the internet?
Uproxx.com/sports with spandex.com. Today we do not have a WCW thing because of the holidays, but we do have the top 10 WWE matches of 2016. Giant article running down the top 10 matches.
Including or excluding NXT?
Including NXT. The NXT and Cruiserweight Classic are extremely well represented. There are a lot of tag team matches from NXT on that list,
Nice.
and this is absolutely the year that the Revival perfected tag team wrestling, and I'm very excited to have been able to talk about it alongside you guys.
Bill, you've been a very, very, very welcome member
thanks,
of
man.
this crew, and I absolutely love having you as a part of the show.
Well, I'm happy to be part of the NXT team. I'm happy all of you watch and contribute and comment, and it's a lot of fun. Follow me on Twitter at Sunday Motel.
Hobo.
You can find me on Twitter at TrueHobo, and I'm trying to put together my calendar for 2017 wrestling dates. If you want to see me work a wrestling promotion in your area, just tweet them with the hashtag #HireHobo.
And True Hobo, you already mentioned?
At TrueHobo.
NXT.spreadshirt.com. Make sure to tune into our other wrestling programming. We had Rey Mysterio on Making Their Way to the Ring this past week. Great show, great interview. Learned a lot of stuff about Rey Mysterio's early life. You will too. It's a wonderful interview. It's been a pleasure working with Lillian Garcia. Also, Jerry Lynn was on today's episode of X-Pac 12360. Awesome hearing how him and Sean started out. Some amazing matches. If you want to see us on actual NXT programming, let WWE know. If Sam Roberts can appear on a pre-show, so can one of us. Tweet at
why
WWE,
not?
tweet at NXT.
I can fight people too.
Use hashtag NXTeam and tag us. We love you. We thank you. Have a good Christmas, Hanukkah, any holiday you celebrate, and a happy new year. We will see you in 2017.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
We're going to buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.